Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. All right, today is exciting because if you've ever watched the British Bake Off, you have seen this cake, on every show. And that is the recipe I'm working on today. It is literally called Our Chocolate Cake. It's exciting. So we are going to try this. So I've already got some water that literally just started boiling. So it is just boiled water. I need to make my sponge with some of this just boiled water. So I have 50 grams of cocoa powder in my little bowl here. And I'm going to add 6 tablespoons of just boiled water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, as you can probably tell, I'm excited because this is a recipe that is, on every show of the Bake Off, and it was in this book, and it's the cover of this book, no less, because of that. So it's like a little technical challenge. All right. Now, I do know that this is supposed to be a paste because it later says when you add it to the sponge, it says add the cocoa paste. So this is what it's supposed to be. I'm just trying to make sure to get all of the dried stuff mixed in with a little bit of the water. All right. So now that I have got my cocoa paste made, I do need to get my oven preheating. So it says to heat it to 180 degrees Celsius, which is about 355 degrees Fahrenheit. Again, if the 5 degrees makes a difference, I'm not sure, because we use 350, but I'm not going to chance it. All right. So my next thing is to actually make the sponge itself. So for my sponge, I'm going to take the butter. I have 200 grams of unsalted butter, and it's been softened. It's been sitting at room temperature for a few hours. And I also need my sugars. So I have not only 150 grams of caster sugar today, but I also have, let's see what the amount is, 125 grams of light brown sugar. Make sure it's soft, not, hard. At least that's what it says. Okay. So I have my whisk attached to my mixer, as you can tell, and I'm going to beat this on medium speed for 3 to 5 minutes or until pale and creamy. And if I need to scrape down the bowl's sides, I will, but 3 to 5 minutes. All right, it's been about 3 minutes. It does look pale and creamy. There's 1 or 2 little butter chunks in there, but it was more not scraping down the sides of the bowl, but trying to get the butter out of the whisk, which was just kind of funny. All right, today I have 4 eggs, so I just went ahead and cracked them all in here, and I just need to add them one at a time, beating well between each addition. So 1 egg, and beat well. All 4 of my eggs are in the mix now. So I do need to add my flour mixture. So I've already sifted 250 grams of self-rising flour or self-raising flour with a half a teaspoon of baking powder and a pinch of salt. So that's all in here, and I'm just going to add that and then mix a little bit. There went my oven. Okay, it didn't really say to mix that part. I just wanted to get the flour in because we also need to add our cocoa paste, which is really paste-like. So I'm going to get that in here. Okay. And then we will mix this again until smooth. Okay. Okay. Is it just me, or is there something just extra like silky and decadent looking about chocolate cake? I don't know. But anyway, now I need to mix in my milk. So I have 4 tablespoons of milk, whole milk, and then I'm going to mix until smooth again. Okay, that looks pretty good. My only issue again with this mixer is I have to take it basically apart to get the bowl off. I don't know. It's just a weird thing I haven't gotten used to yet. If you haven't seen that I have a new mixer, go check out that video because it's, I kind of break down how it's different from the other ones or my old mixer. All right, get that off. Now I do have 2 8-inch 20 centimeter pans. I've already greased them and then lined the bottom with parchment paper, as you can see. So now I'm going to try to evenly divide these, which if you've seen any of my other ones, I'm not great at. I think the raspberry white chocolate ombre cake, I did terrible. Mainly because I didn't have 3 of that size pan. And so I did 2, and then I did another one, and it was bad. They were so not even. Cake turned out pretty tasty. So I'm hoping that I can do that again. I'm also still really amazed. Cakes, I don't know. I've said before, my mom's a cake decorator, and when she makes her cake batter, it's not nearly this thick. But everybody always talks about how good her cakes are. And I think they're delicious, but I grew up on them too. So it's interesting how thick this stuff is. You definitely could not spoon my mom's cake batter like this. I don't know. Just a difference. I really tried not to lose any of the chocolate goodness out of this. So now I'm just supposed to level this with a palette knife. So I'm trying to see if I can not only get it level and make sure that I have the same amount in each. I think I did pretty good. Okay, as I had said before, my oven is at 355 degrees Fahrenheit, 180 degrees Celsius. I am going to put these in the middle shelf for 30 to 35 minutes until well risen. The tops bounce back when lightly pressed, and a skewer inserted into the center comes out clean. So 30 to 35 minutes. While the cake is baking, or the sponge itself is baking, I am going to make the ganache. Funny story, I forgot to set my oven timer, so I don't actually know how long the cake has been in there, so I'm just going to have to watch it pretty carefully. I do have the timer going now for 20 minutes, so if it goes off and I don't react right away, it's because that's just an approximate time anyway. So what we're going to do to make the ganache is we have 200 grams of 70% dark chocolate, 72% in the States for whatever reason. They just don't have 70%, or at least not in my grocery store. So we just need to take this, and I just need to put it in a bowl along with 10 grams of butter, which is essentially just a slab of butter. It's like one little chunk of butter. Okay. And I'm just going to push that to the side for a minute. What I need to do to make the ganache is heat up my cream. So this recipe does call for 300 milliliters of double cream. Again, if you don't know what a milliliter is, it's right there on your Pyrex container or your Anchor Hawking. And we don't have double cream in the States. We have heavy whipping cream. That's as close as I can get. So I do need to pour this in my saucepan and bring it to a boil, which I never really thought you were supposed to boil dairy. I don't know. Maybe that's just a misconception that I've heard all these years. So I've got that in there, and I also need to add a little bit of sugar. So I have 2 teaspoons of castor sugar that I'm going to add to my cream. Okay. So stirring occasionally, I'm going to bring it to a boil. All right, so 2 teaspoons of castor sugar and 300 milliliters of heavy whipping cream, or double cream if you have it. Okay, it's definitely starting to boil. There's some bubbles forming. And like I said, I don't necessarily know if you're supposed to let dairy like really, really boil. But anyway, so I think it's done. Okay, I'm gonna take it off. It says to take it off for 30 seconds. So 30 seconds. And then I will put it into my chocolate here. Could you tell that was 30 seconds? Okay. Anyway, okay, so to do it for 30 seconds now, to pour it over your chocolate. And now it says to leave that without stirring for 1 minute. Don't you love it when directions are so oddly specific? Okay, it's been sitting for 1 minute, no stirring. I'm going to use a wooden spoon because it says so. Using a wooden spoon, stir until smooth. I don't know, I always just wonder, like, if I use a metal spoon, is it really going to affect it? Or if I use, that spatula I was about to use until I read the directions a little bit better. I don't know. Anyway, I'm stirring until smooth. This is really pretty. Did you guys see that color change? It was awesome. Like, even not in fast mode, that was really obvious color change. But look how pretty that is. Anyway, I feel like I'm a chocolatier. Willy Wonka. No. Anyway, so I need to leave this to cool and thicken slightly. So, I mean, yeah, I guess that's not going to stay on a cake very well. But my cake is still in the oven. Okay, I do believe my cakes are ready. Sponges, cakes, yeah. Oh, yeah, so it does bounce back. I don't know if you can tell. The skewer came out clean. I did forget to set my timer, so I don't know exactly how long they were in the oven. But it was about 30 minutes, I would say. Yeah, so I'm going to leave these to cool. It says on the wire racks. Okay, so I'm going to put them on my wire racks that I have sitting right here. It says to let them cool there for 3 to 4 minutes and then turn out and leave to cool completely. So I'm going to leave these just like this for about 3 or 4 minutes and then turn them out. And then when they're cool, we can decorate. Okay, my sponges are cool and I am ready to decorate this. So I've got me a serving platter out and I'm just going to, put it together, assemble it. So I'm just going to turn this guy out. Now again, I never remember which way you're supposed to put the cake, up or down, but this is a smoother side, so I'm going to put that one down. All right, so place one sponge on the serving plate and top with 3 tablespoons. It seems oddly precise, but I'm just gonna put some ganache on there. That's about 3 tablespoons. I'll do one more. Okay, this ganache looks delicious, by the way. I'm spreading it smoothly with a palette knife. feel like I'm going to need more than just 3 tablespoons. Maybe that wasn't quite 3 tablespoons. A little extra never hurt, right? Until it slides all around on top. Okay. Anyway. Just going to try to get it all the way to the edges because I did have a little bit of a rough edge on mine. Like I said, I didn't grease it probably all the way to the corner like I should have. But that looks really good. Okay. All right, and then top with the second sponge. Okay. That looks good, you know? All right, and then cover the top and sides with the remaining ganache. If I pour it on there, is that just too much at once? Maybe we'll start with a little bit and see how it runs. It's thick, but it's not like crazy thick. So we'll see. I want it to run, but then I'm going to have a mess on my plate. I should have really thought about this. Oh well. Okay, the method worked. Oh well, okay, you know. I don't know, maybe my ganache isn't as thick as it should be. I'm going to clean it up with the plate a little bit here in just a minute. But yeah, it ran over really nice actually, which I'm not sure if it's supposed to run over quite that nicely. But anyway, okay. It looks really pretty though, so we'll go for that. I've got a lot of leftover ganache too, so it's like, I'm not getting rid of that. That's delicious. Okay, now I'm going to top it with raspberry. So I've got 250 grams of raspberry. And I guess I'm just going to put them on top. All right, I just had a couple raspberries left. They're not going to fit around the edge, or at least I'm not going to attempt to. If you were not singing the Bake Off music in your head while I was doing that, then you must not watch the show because I could not get it out of my head. And yeah, it's stuck. All right, so that looks pretty good. And now we just need to top with icing sugar, powdered sugar. So I have mine in my little shaker here, and I'm just going to dust it. Ooh, I think it just gives it a nice little texture. Looks like snow. Fun. Okay, that looks so cute. I like it. Look at that. I'm going to clean up the plate a little bit so it looks nice and I can get a pretty picture of it before I cut into it. But yeah, it looks good. Okay, everybody, I am ready to taste. Look at this beauty. It looks really good. I'm excited. I don't know if it's just because it's such an iconic, like, British Bake Off staple because it's in the credits. I don't know, but I'm excited for it. So, looks good. Yep, nice texture. Like I know. Okay, let's take a bite. It really does kind of melt in your mouth. I didn't get much ganache because there's not much in between. Maybe that's what I'll use my extra ganache for, is to pour it on top. It does melt. Very good. Very chocolatey. If you love chocolate, this is the cake for you. The raspberries do a really good job of kind of offsetting that, so you don't just get like punch in the mouth dark chocolate. So I do like the raspberry in a bite. I don't know. It was pretty easy too. I mean, I've been at this for less than 2 hours, you know, with letting the cake cool and everything. So, you know, if you want to throw together a just because cake, there you go. Because that's what section it's in, is the just because section. But yeah, fun. I don't know. Does it look like it? Anyway, that was my 31st bake. So I'm excited. I'm moving right along. There are like 80 in here, so I am far from done. But I do appreciate you guys being on this journey with me. It's been awesome. If you like this video, awesome, great. Go like, subscribe to this channel so you can see when the next time I'm posting a video is. Go check out some of my other videos. There's lots of good ones. Also, you know, get baking yourself. This is fun. I promise. It doesn't matter if it turns out crappy. It just is. All right. Well, I will see you guys next bake.